Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today we have yet another nearly ultra budget knife from Migron with a god tier combination of materials and HRC hardness for this price range. I've said this before, Migron is essentially just competing with themselves. They are so comically ahead of everybody else, even remotely close to this price tier. This is who you should be looking at. If your budget is between $30 and $40, Migron is where you should be looking, period. Now, I'm more than happy to accept knives from other companies who want to, challenge and compete, right? If they can prove their HRC hardness. But as of right now, I don't know of any other companies who are doing exactly this, not for this money, for as low as these costs. So it's really cool. This was something that I pushed for, that Taylor from Taylor Hardness pushed for. We thought it was really cool that Migron said, yeah, we'll do that and we'll keep the prices down. And they did. They have kept their promise, keeping their prices down and proving their HRC hardness through Taylor's testing, which is awesome. You can check out that testing on Taylor's website, which is linked at the bottom of my description. Thanks so much to Migron for sending these in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. I will also link these down in the description. We have 3 different variations of the same knife today, and you guys can check these out. I'm a huge fan. You guys know that I love my super expensive, super snobby, special Damasteel mirror polished, yada, 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 and I regularly buy knives like that. I also really love a spectacular budget knife, whether it be just for, price or just execution materials for a competitive, somewhat competitive priced. Like that's all, stuff that I find really, really excellent. But when everything comes together and it's beautiful and gorgeous and unique and, it's made super well, and the price tag, the cherry on top of the price tag is actually super low, well, that's something truly special. Sorry about that. I had to plug the camera in because it was about to die. So this is called the Thaly. The Thaly. I don't know if that's a real word. I doubt it. Okay, so we have kind of a robin's egg, and then we have red specks on it. Now, this isn't everybody's cup of tea, these color combos here, but what I appreciate is the fact that they're doing something different than the colors that we regularly expect. I believe this is aluminum. Excuse me. I believe this is aluminum. We have a wire clip that is ambidextrous, so you can mount it for left or right hand carry, which makes sense because it is a crossbar lock. Now, obviously, a crossbar lock is not the newest and most exciting locking system on the market. The handle profile isn't anything different, and I venture to guess the blade profile isn't going to be anything different. The special thing about this knife is not the profile or the lock. The special thing about this knife, actually the blade shape's pretty cool, is the fact that they're combining all of these things and charging $35. On top of that, this is D2, but it's hardened to 62 to 63. If you're the type of person who, if you hear D2, oh, I'm bored, right? You hear that. Let me point out that you will not find any steel consistently available under $100 that will come anywhere close to this in terms of edge retention. What about M390? Sometimes, yeah, you might see it. I'll tell you where that's going to land on the HRC scale there. That's probably going to be hitting the old 58, 59. A D2 blade hardened to 62 to 63 will blow the doors off of 58 to 59 HRC M390. So no, not even that. A lot of the super steels that you might find that occasionally teeter into the budget territory, none of them will come close because they won't be heat treated properly. And, the main point there is that you're not going to be seeing those steels. A lot of times if you do see some of those, more exotic or super steels under $100, one of two things is occurring or both. It's either not the steel, it's just a company like saying that it is and it isn't, or it is the composition, it's just not heat treated properly, right? So if you're bored with D2, but you're a big, you're big on edge retention, this is it right here, 62 to 63. And honestly, the edge geometry on this is fairly thin. It's a nice elongated, as you could say, long clip point, Persian style, trailing point blade, whatever. A nice little choke up spot. And I love that curved area right there for your thumb. Really cool. The handles are cool. I think maybe this is it almost feels like Cerakote. And if it's not, right, the other thing is that this might actually not be aluminum. It's either aluminum that's been Cerakoted or it's not. It's a totally different material. And this isn't a review. I don't know what this material is. I will find out before I actually review it, which will be in a separate video. But either way, the crossbar lock feels really good as well. Nice bearing action there. Really good. Nice, and Migron's always nice and consistent. And looks like the centering looks good as well. So we've got, like I said, 2 mounting positions for the pocket clip. And, for a wire clip, that's just about perfect. This is a very, it fits within the parameters of what every company has like a bug out or multiple bug outs. This is well within that bug out space of aesthetic, right? Just way, way, way less expensive than the actual bug out, and probably not as good. I know Benchmade hits a lot of their S30V at like 58, 59. So it'd be really interesting to find out, if the S30, if it's Benchmade's S30V and it's like 60, maybe. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if this knife outcut, a Benchmade bug out. The bug out has really good cutting geometry. I've got one right here. This one's an S90V. It's got good cutting geometry, but Benchmade is allergic to higher HRC ranges. So anyways, whoops. So this one came flying out. This is a really cool combination here. Red with black specks. They have a nice machine satin finish here. Looks really, really good. Same exact thing as this other guy, just a different combination of colors, red and black. And then finally, I'm really curious about this material. Does it actually say what it is? No, we'll find out when we do the actual review. It can be kind of hard to tell sometimes. Last one here is going to be, it's in like a toxic green and red. Very, very cool. So, yeah, I hope that Migron continues to make as many different variations of things using... It's kind of... Getting this out initially, the reason I said that I thought it was aluminum is because it was kind of cold. It didn't have that, kind of room temperature plastic feeling or synthetic material feeling. It felt like cold metallic material, right? So it could be... it doesn't look like anodizing. It looks, my best guess is Cerakoted aluminum, or some sort of coat. It could just be paint. I'm not really sure. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. I mean, even if this ended up being some sort of injection mold plastic, which it doesn't feel like at all, at $35, it's absolutely ridiculous. Some of the other best pocket knives that are sub 40 that I've ever showcased on this channel still fall comically short because of the steel choice and more specifically the HRC ranges that they're executed in. If Migron is able to get D2 and some of these other steels that they're using up into these optimal and even beyond optimal ranges, then any other company who is supposed to be in competition with them, they should be able to do this too. So I hope that this shifts and, these other companies I hope that Migron sees a ton of success with this. And I hope that a lot of other companies notice that Migron is seeing success with it and that these companies shift to offer a competitive product at this price point. Because I would love to talk about lots of different companies, competing at this territory. And as of right now, it's really just Migron. And I have to assume that they're doing pretty well. I know that the Karoq absolutely exploded. People went nuts for it. And they should. You guys should. I mean, people who are just wanting a good, reliable, utilitarian cutting tool and you're on a budget or you just don't want to spend more than X amount because it's a knife, right? You're like, I'm not interested in $100 or $200, $5,000 pocket knives. I just want a straightforward, good product. But maybe you're sick of, being dependent on the Smith & Wesson or Tac Force part of the knife world, right? You just kind of view that area as a disposable knife because you know that it's going to be a piece of crap and it's basically just going to disintegrate over time or just be this loosey-goosey kind of, something that you treat as a multi-tool because it was never a very good knife to begin with. if that's the part of the knife world that you've been forced to endure, well, Migron is trying to give you a substantially better option. I'm not talking about a marginally better option here. These are miles and miles ahead of what we typically see in sub 40 or, right around the $30 territory. All feel good, all feel consistent. I imagine we'll see even more HRC testing from Taylor. So you can check out his website down in the description. But I don't really have anything else to say. I suppose we can measure him real quick. And I'll weigh it if I know where my scale is. Oh, there it is. So the overall length of this guy, 7 1/4. Blade length, 3 1/8 or so. And cutting edge is about 2.75. Let's see where the balance is. Right there, right in the middle of the primary index finger position, which is good. I bet, almost picked that up by the blade, I bet this weighs about 3 ounces, maybe a little less. I think this thing needs new batteries. So 2.8, yeah. So this is 2.7. This is ultra lightweight. Anything under 3 ounces. I mean, anything less to me is trivial. But sub 3 ounces, pretty cool. So anyways, I will get the full details for you guys and put it in a full-length review. But if you want to check them out now, along with Migron's other, they're amazing. Their budget stuff really is. Everything that they do that's under 75, and I mean, like most of the budget stuff they make is under 60. But anywhere from their, $29 knives up to their $60 knives, I really think they are shining. They do some awesome premium stuff too. But the most interesting stuff that they make, in my opinion, is their budget stuff. So anyways, that's going to be it on this model for now. I don't know where there it is. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex. I'll go right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.